This is 11.3a of geometry. So we're going to start talking about pyramids. We've talked about prisms and we've talked about cylinders. But now we're going to talk about pyramids, which has one base. Okay, so just this base on the bottom here. And it meets up at a vertex. Okay, so here's our vertex. And all of these sides are lateral faces. So it has an altitude coming up the middle here. If you think of like a circus tent and how there's a pole in the middle of the tent, if that helps you to picture it, that is also the height. Okay, and then down here we've got something a little more specific, which is a regular pyramid. So a regular pyramid is a pyramid whose base is a regular polygon. Okay, and the one extra thing we've got when we've got a regular pyramid is the slant height, and that's this right around right there, and we use the letter L, a cursive L, to signify the slant height. And as you can see, it's perpendicular there. Okay, so we can also find lateral area and surface area, just like we did with prisms and cylinders. So the lateral area in this picture is the yellow parts. Okay, so you can see these triangles that have been unfolded. So we've got 4 triangles in this case, right? And each triangle has an area of 1/2 SL. And what we can do, if we take this equation and multiply it by 4, okay, instead of combining the 4 and the 1/2, we can combine the 4 and the S, because 4 times S is just going to be the perimeter. Okay, and this would work with any shape, even without the square. So that's where we get our equation for our lateral area, which is 1/2 PL, where P is the perimeter and L is our slant height. And then our surface area equation looks a little bit different. Instead of having 2B, it's just a plain B, because in this case we only have one base, right? So let's work with our got it problem here. We have a square pyramid, so I'm going to roughly sketch a square pyramid. Emphasis on the roughly. Not horrible. Okay, there's my attempt at a square pyramid. It says that it has base edge of 5 meters and a slant height of 3 meters. So my drawing is really off, but you know, we're going to get the same deal here. 3 meters. Okay, and we want to know what the surface area is. So surface area is lateral area plus the base. So first let's find the lateral area, which is 1/2 PL. So I'm going to need to find my perimeter. So my side length is 5, and I've got 4 sides, so P is equal to 5 times 4. So my perimeter is 20, and we're working in meters. And my slant height is 3 meters. 20 times 3 is 60, and half of 60 is 30. So I get 30 meters squared. So my lateral area is 30 meters squared, and then I need to find the area of my base. This is a square, so if that side's 5 meters, this side's also 5 meters. Length times width, if you want to think in terms of a rectangle, or if you're going to think specifically for a square, the side length squared. So we end up getting 5 times 5 either way, which gives us 25. Again, we're talking about meters squared, right? And then to find our surface area, I add those two. So surface area is equal to 30 plus 25, which gives me 55 meters squared. And that'd be my answer. Okay, it's possible that we might have to do a little bit more work to figure out our slant height, okay? So if you look here, I don't have my slant height drawn on this picture. Let me stick it in here in blue. Slant height is going to be right there, okay? But I don't have a number for that. So if you picture yourself standing inside this circus tent, right, here's your pole. And if you're picturing, you're looking at the pole, and to your right is the fabric, okay? This is where our slant height is, and that's what we need to find. So if you picture this, whoops, there's a triangle, This here is our pole, so that's 42. This is the distance on the ground, so 18 square root 3, which in our picture is actually just the apothem. And we're looking for L. So I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So 42 squared plus 18 square root 3 squared equals L squared. 42 squared gives me 1,764. You can do the 18 square root 3 squared on your calculator. Just be careful how you're doing it. Otherwise, let me show you how you could do this by hand. Okay, I can distribute my square into both parts. So I get 18 squared, square root of 3 squared. When we have a square root and a square, they cancel each other off. They're opposites. 18 squared is 324 times, now my 3 is alone. And when you multiply by 3, we get 972. So plus 972 is equal to L squared. 972 plus 1,764 gives me 2,736. To get rid of that square, I need to take the square root, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Whenever you yourself draw in the square root, you're getting a positive answer and a negative answer. Okay? If it's already in your equation, then you don't need to worry about it. But if you are drawing it in like we just did, that's when you're going to get a positive and a negative answer. In this case, though, does a negative answer make sense? Can you have a negative distance? No. So we're only going to take the positive answer. And we get that L is about, let's say, 52. Let's get a little more specific. 52.3. Now I can find the lateral area. So lateral area is equal to 1/2 PL. So I've found my slant height, my L. Now I just need to find my perimeter. So my side length is 36, and this is a hexagon, so it has 6 sides. So P is equal to 36 times 6, which gives me 216. Now I can plug in over here. 1/2 times 216 times 52.3 gives me 5,648.4. We are working in feet, so feet squared. And they just wanted the lateral area, so I don't need to calculate the base. If I needed to calculate the area of my base, I would use the equation for the area of a polygon, regular polygon I should specify. A is equal to 1/2 AP, where A is the apothem and P is the perimeter. And there's your homework.